Hey everybody, I have arrived, or we have arrived. My dad, the birthday boy. Well, his birthday's on Wednesday. But anyway, this is kind of an early present. We have arrived in Old Town, and it's very hot. Very hot. Oh, I wish I could film like actual heat, dry heat. Where's the sun? Yes. Anyway, it's just very intense sun here. But anyway, getting to Old Town here. This right up here. This is crazy parking lots that are full all the time. Hard to find a good space. Guess there's some here. Ooh, the Trippy Kitty. What is that? Oh, it's a boutique. So this is San Felipe School. Now, I always remember this when I come down here. And then over there, well, I can't show it right now, but there's this pink house. I don't know if it's like a bed and breakfast or what it is exactly. I can show you from the back. This is San Felipe School. Manuel Contreras Gymnasium, founded 1881. So that's the pink house over there. And oh, I'm way ahead of my parents. Probably like wondering where I am. Okay. Well, this is your first look at Old Town, everybody. Looking down one of the side streets here. But that's where we're headed, is to Old Town. And we're, I guess, an hour early. So that's great. I can maybe get my energy drink or coffee or tea and a snack. And this is right near the parking lot. It's the Rattlesnake Museum and Gift Shop. I've been wanting to go in here. I've seen several videos on it. Unfortunately, I won't have time today, but I'll just show you what I can see. T-shirts, American International Rattlesnake Museum in Albuquerque. Rattlesnake Museum, best of the city. Huh? Oh, cool. Rattlesnake Museum, Old Town, Albuquerque. And there's a wooden sign up here. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Must be the gift shop or something. I can't go inside, but ooh, rattlesnake. Oh, they make those. That's cool. Okay, guys, there you saw it for me. It's my first time filming it. Well, we just checked in for the tour at this Old Town Emporium. And this is the coolest gift shop, and I got this for only $1 because I need the caffeine, but I got that for only $1 because everything's like 20% off, and I guess if you're doing the tour you get some kind of discount on the merchandise in there, like after the tour. So yeah, we checked in at the Old Town Emporium. I hope my camera doesn't get too overheated. It is really hot. We've had a really hot summer, and that's why I haven't been doing as much. Because of the heat, my mom doesn't like to do stuff when it's really hot. But here's a little closer up of the plaza, Old Town Plaza. Oh, jeez, my charger. That says right there, La Placita Dining Rooms. And down there, Blackbird Coffee. That looks good. Tea, lattes, and pastries. San Felipe Snow Cone and Lemonade. Snow cones, lemonade, hot dogs, nachos. Ooh, is that the trolley? No. It's the Duke City Peddler Tour Albuquerque something. No, that's too small to be the trolley. Okay, I think. No, we're not supposed to board for another 10-15 minutes, but I just thought I'd show you up close. Over there, it's Discover Balloons, world's largest collection of hot air balloon gifts. This is the Old Town Hat Shop and Accessory Boutique. All kinds of interesting businesses. Restaurants, shops, coffee shops, specialty shops. Here's a restaurant, or no, something on the corner. Can't read it. Oh, because there's the post in the way of it. Okay. Well, this is an up closer look of the plaza. I don't want to get too close. It's pretty touristy here, especially in the summer, I guess. I don't know how people can take the heat here. It's pretty hot. I keep saying that. And there's a church across the street, and or wait, oh yeah, it's behind all those trees. It's behind the plaza. So all these cars are going through. So, oh, I'll just leave you with this shot of Discover Balloons. And then I guess I'll see you when I get on the trolley in like 10-15 minutes or so. Okay, we're getting ready to board touralbuquerque.com. The best first thing to do in Albuquerque. Got the pretty little mosaic sign on the, I keep wanting to call it a bus, a trolley. So we are about to board. There's my dad, the almost birthday boy. And okay, so I will vlog more from, oh, and they know, by the way, they were informed that I'm a vlogger and I want to do my thing. So they were happy with that. Now I am on the trolley. There are 7 riders today, including the 3 of us, me, my mom, and my dad. Actually, Old Town, the plaza is not really too busy for a Saturday. For a weekend, it's usually much more crowded than it is. There's always some kind of music in the gazebo in the plaza. Can't see it from here because well, this is a sidewalk there. Looks like a lot of good restaurants. I haven't been down here in maybe 5 years, like I was saying before, but yeah, I'm excited. I really am. I have some things. This folds out into a coloring page. And I got some stickers here. And I got this sticker. So we got some freebies here, and I'm excited. We leave at, what time is it? It is 2 o'clock. Okay, well, maybe a couple minutes before. But, gosh, I'm so excited.
Poet laureate in 2012. This is some of the artwork that was done by some of the folks. We'll get to actually more of that a little bit later, but they essentially put pictures down on the street to make some of the murals. Something I could not do. I will mess up a stick figure.
The thing about all this, past, present, or future, is that the before, the now, and the next share one thing in common: our participation. Our physical presence in all 3 dimensions, both at once and across time. Like our memory of ourselves at different stops along historic Route 66 at different times in our lives, our parents' and grandparents' lives, our children and grandchildren's lives. And just as these various memories of travel and place merge to find a home in our minds, our bodies also remember. Our bodies retain the muscular and material memory of all the places and times we have been. The body is a goal, though it is rarely the destination, just like our beloved Mother Road.
Okay, so that was by the poet laureate.
Colorful Touch was dispatching uniformed motorcycle drivers around town with a little sidecar bearing the message, "I'll help you, ask me," to steer tourists to the city's attractions. By 1938, NM attracted more visitors than any of the other 5 mountain states. Hotels, tourist camps, and restaurants were kept constantly busy by tourists and travelers on their way east and west. Historic neon signs still glow on Old Route 66 through Albuquerque. Alongside the vintage signs, you'll see new versions put up by businesses that are continuing the aesthetic traditions of Old Route 66, adorning their shops with bright, buzzing neon. Albuquerque has one of the best preserved stretches of Route 66 in the entire country, and also the longest urban stretch of Route 66 in the country at 18 miles. Route 66 was fixed in the memory of many by John Steinbeck's novel The Grapes of Wrath, where Steinbeck coined the nickname Mother Road, and Bobby Tripp's lyric, "Get your kicks on Route 66." Nat King Cole was the King Cole Trio who first recorded the song the same year, and it became a hit, appearing on Billboard magazine's R&B and pop charts. There have since been some 140 versions of the song.
So did any of you read The Grapes of Wrath in high school? Yeah, it was kind of required reading through a lot of the United States. Really good book. They did turn it into a movie. It's in black and white, so kids usually don't watch it, but it did go through New Mexico. Now, in addition to that, our film industry started in 1897. All the way back to 1897, when a local film guy, brand new to film, filmed 50 seconds of Native American children going into and out of the building. That was our first thing that was ever filmed here. The film industry loves us. I'm a member of the film industry. I've been in about a dozen movies and TV shows. It's a lot of fun to work in the film industry, even if you're an extra. In fact, they gave you a new title. You're not just an extra, you're a background actor. Okay, one of our most famous neon signs here at the doghouse. At night, the little wiener dog eats hot dogs and his tail wags all night. Everybody needed gas and they checked into a motel. And heck, let's just go see a movie. Now, a lot of the gas stations, restaurants, and movies have been repurposed into something else. So we'll get a chance to see some of the gas stations, hotels, and movie theaters are still alive today. And most of the movie houses that are still showing stuff here were built in about 1935 to 1939. Now, as we approach the area up here, you're going to see three flagpoles. One has the Albuquerque flag, one has our state flag, and one has the flag of the United States. Now, the New Mexico state flag is pretty
There's mine.
It's four rays in four directions, all connected with a never-ending circle. I have one up here in the front where Sean is, and I'll wave at you here in a few minutes. Okay, the motel over across the street there is called Arrive. It goes back quite a ways, and it also functions not only as a motel, but you can rent an apartment there. They have a swimming pool. They also have a restaurant, and that was built towards the end of the 1930s, I believe. Now, my brain is pretty much packed full of stuff, so I'm hoping to get everything correct. This is a brand new tour for us this year, and Sean is waving the New Mexico state flag. The four rays in four directions, each set of rays means something. The four times of day, the four seasons of the year, the four stages of flying. So, in addition to some of the buildings changing, you're also going to see a lot of artwork on the buildings. We have several local artists that have painted murals on windows. And we also have a mural program here. The mural program that we have is part of what they call the 1% for the arts. The city donates 1% of some of the tax revenue to our arts program. We have more public art than any other city of our size. We have over 800 pieces of public art. Most of the public art you will see as murals painted on everything. Walls, garages, rooftops, parking lots. We also have a children's part where the children can go and put up mosaic tile on different sculptures. So in addition to the children and the murals, we of course have some bronze statues showing important people in Albuquerque. And as you look around, check out some of the murals on the walls. Some of the murals have stories attached to them. Some of them are put up on the walls just because it's art. You know art. Now, if you're an artist and you'd like to put up your own mural, you simply contact the city, submit your plans, and if okay, heck, they give you a wall, or then you just go find a wall somewhere. A lot of the murals have been up for quite some time, and we have a lot of brand new murals as well. Several were put up just for the centennial of Route 66. Now, in addition to starting in 1926, we have other things here that started at the same time. Our very popular zoo, the Rio Grande Zoo, started in 1926. We have a pregnant elephant, we have a wonderful paper exhibit. People from all over the southern states come to visit our zoo. And we also have a railroad hospital built in 1926 that you'll get a chance to see a little bit later as we drive. Now, as we pull forward, I'd like to call your attention over to the left. A brand new mural. Actually, it's about 7 months old. It was done in December of 2025, it shows 3 buffalo, and there's a story and a poem that goes along with it. So check out the buffalo. Okay, now, remember I talked about that 4th Street? Our 4th Street is the only intersection in the entire Route 66 where Route 66 intersects itself. I'll show you a map about it here in a few minutes. But you could, when you first came into New Mexico, you went to Santa Fe because Route 66 folks said that if you want public funding, Route 66 had to go through your state capital. Our state capital, the oldest in the United States, Santa Fe. So in 1926, when you came into New Mexico, you went to Santa Fe first. Then you came right down what's now our 4th Street, and you turned at that intersection to get you back on original Route 66. If you were in your 1934, it took an additional 4 hours to make it across the state. Okay, over to the left here, Hotel Andalus. That was Conrad Hilton's 4th hotel ever built. The first one out of the state of Texas. Built in 1939, the Hilton family does hail from New Mexico. So that was a Hilton hotel now called Andalus. Supposedly you're not supposed to stay on the 4th or 7th floor because those floors play there. Somebody messes with their equipment. They've never seen anybody do it, but it sure messes them up. Up on the monitor now is the Rosenwald Brothers building, our first department store that we passed back there. The first building with steel reinforced concrete. Now look over to your left. That's mosaic tile put up by middle and high school students under adult supervision. Every summer they try to add a little bit to it. And get your cameras ready and look to the right. Our conductor watching over the railroad, but also you'll get to see our Martin Luther King mural, which is so big they don't call it a mural, it's called a streetscape. Check this out.
I'm coming over here.
And when Shauna rings the bell, we're under the railroad tracks. And when the railroad came through in 1880, it split Albuquerque into 2 areas. Old Town, this became known as New Town. Lots of people moved to New Town. It was the happening place. The railroad brought civilization to Albuquerque. Now look at this brown building across the street here to the right. That was our first high school, Albuquerque High School, built in 1912. It takes up a whole block. It's huge. Now they moved into their brand new building in 1974. So what do we do with that? Can't tear down historic buildings anymore. So they put a chain link fence around the entire block. That chain link fence stayed there for 30 years. In 2004, somebody bought the entire block and turned it into an apartment complex with a weird twist. If you make an apartment over there, along one wall of your apartment, it might be the original chalkboard that was in your classroom. There's a guy that went to the principal's office. My favorite, the guy that went to the girls' locker room. They left lockers up in his... You have to make a few zigs and zags, but you'll see signs that have on them Historic Route 66 pre-1937. So when they say we have more miles than any other state, we kind of cheated. Okay, coming up on your right now, 1926 was the first railroad hospital. It served several purposes. It was a railroad hospital, a tuberculosis sanitarium, a children's hospital, a mental hospital. Right over here to the right, somebody plunked down $20 million and turned it into a 5-star hotel. It's an amazing hotel. You've got a great bar up on top, I've told. I haven't been up there because they don't drink anymore. I didn't have a drinking. Up at the monitor now, that's Sam's 66 service station. It was built about 1945, and it's going to be the 66 diner up here on the left. So 1945, it's a gas station. When they turned it into a diner, you know those hydraulic lifts that lift the cars up and down? They left it all there. They just put a floor up on top of everything. Now the 66 diner has some excellent food. They also have milkshakes in the stainless steel cup. Looks like a diner from the 60s. And next to it, lot of arguing, they decided to narrow it down to a coin toss. Whoever won the coin toss got their choice of what they wanted. So imagine a dark, smoke-filled room. The guy flips the coin, it lands, Santa Fe calls it out, and they win. So Santa Fe wins, and they chose the prison. Albuquerque got stuck with the university. Now, if you talk to people, they'll say, oh, we knew the prison was going to bring more jobs. Right. So we have a wonderful university here, 750 acres. University of New Mexico, 1889. You know what our mascot is? Interesting combination of things that are realist, like the mountains and her face and some of the streets, and then the graphic artist that uses a combination of different shapes to make the cars, the trucks. There's a logo there to the right of this US 66 sign. If you go to the website that I talked about, Visit Albuquerque, you probably have most of the murals on that. Yeah, well, they just did this Visit Albuquerque update with some of these buildings. Okay, now, what is life like in Albuquerque without a bus that looks like a Route 66 bus? So up on the monitor now, sunset to sunrise, the Centennial Art Bus. The artist is Dante Suzuki Bitch, and one side of the bus has cars and stuff. It's up on the monitor now. And then, of course, you've got the other side of the bus. And if you're riding along next to the bus, you can't tell whether those are real cars or cars on the bus. And, of course, you've got the rear of it as well, symbolizing art and Route 66. Okay, so over to the left, up on top there, you can see our mascot, the Mexican gray wolf, known as a lobo. Now, one year they took a lobo to a football game. Imagine that, a Mexican gray wolf at a football game. Everybody was so excited, and then it bit somebody, so they had to put that sense. So we're getting ready to turn back onto Route 66, and we may see some of those buses because they are actively going up and down the street, and if you happen to see one, yeah, look, there's Dante, the artist that did the buses.
Picture taken with my dad and myself, just a picture of me at this. This is Amitucci's Bar Roma, and here's the Route 66 throne. You have your picture taken sitting in the back seat right there. Here's some old gas pumps. Fire chief. I can feel that mist. It feels so good. This is like a restaurant, outdoor seating here, and it's the Jones Motor Company building. So he said this is a pit stop, and also because we've been riding around, it's very bumpy. It's gonna take me a lot of work to edit all that because it's a very bumpy ride. through the city, and I was having trouble even just taking pictures because it was so bumpy. But it's cool. It's cool that we got out at the stop and all that. We still have a ways to go. So, I don't know. It is... Ooh, it's 2:45, so we still have another hour and 15 minutes. So, yeah. Got some chairs. Well, sofa chairs. Sofa. And... we go inside here. So this is the inside. Don't want to film in here if it's not allowed.
Style to include the pitch roof. The flat roof style pretty much stayed here until we had settlers from back east come. But of course everybody had a pitch roof. So that's when the pitch roof really started. But before that, most of the houses had a flat roof to them. And of course, how do you get water off a flat roof? Well, it doesn't really matter because we only get 9.5 inches of rain a year. That's our annual rainfall. Now, fortunately, the entire city sits on top of a refillable aquifer. There's 90 wells located throughout the entire city that pump water up from that aquifer. That's where we get our drinking water. I say refillable aquifer. Yeah, that would be real nice if we ever got snow in the mountains. We're kind of in a pretty bad drought right now. In fact, if you've been by the Rio Grande, it's dry. Yeah, it usually dries up about once every 5 or 6 years, but this has been quite dry. You getting much rain in Santa Fe? And Albuquerque is kind of unique because we have some interesting wind currents here, which is why they hold the balloon fiesta here. We have wind currents going different directions at different altitudes. And so if you're a really good pilot and you know the area, you can take off and land from about the same place by getting into the different wind currents. Sadly, Albuquerque is set up in such a way that the wind currents pretty much funnel the rain away. Over to your right, the first shopping center on Route 66.
I love this.
The Nob Hill Business Center started, and it looks exactly the same today as it did when it opened. Notice the small parking lot, because we didn't have a lot of cars in 1940. Now, Nob Hill essentially started in 1916, and if you crank your head around to the left, you can see the Nob Hill mural. Now, Mr. Sellers had a dog that went with him everywhere. The car's blocking the dog. Anyway, 1916. As we make our turn here, look up the street to the right. You'll be amazed at our Nob Hill. If you've never seen a rather boring looking hill with a few cars on it, this is your chance. Okay, look up to the right. There's our Nob Hill. Dun, 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 dun. But it was the tallest hill in the area, what can I say? Okay, so as we head up the street here, I'm going to talk about a couple different motels on the way back. This one over here to the left is Sam's. This is kind of interesting. It was the University Travel Lodge, and before that it was the Sleepy Bear Travel Lodge. They completely redid all the things to mid-century modern. Okay, we're going to drive by it again so you'll get a chance to get a better picture. So you'll notice we're headed uphill out of the Rio Grande Valley. And when the train comes through in 1880, Albuquerque builds to the west. So there was really nothing in this entire area. So like I said, if your favorite color is brown, Albuquerque's a great place to move. Now another store that's been around mostly forever is here on the corner. It's called Cowboys and Indians. Right now they are set up just by appointment. There's a phone number on the door. They do carry some hours, but they're not open very much. But they've been around since long before I was even in high school. The owners are pretty fascinating, and they do have a lot of authentic cowboy and Indian stuff. Now, just as a interest in history, regardless of what they say in your history book, Native Americans were not treated very well at all. Okay, so continuing up east. The neat thing to remember movies. In fact, the more gaudy, ugly, and large your neon sign was, the better chance you had of staying open. More on that in a minute. Look over to the right. This is the Highland Theater. This was kind of a new generation type theater. Now it's the home of the National Dance Institute. And look at this sign that we're right in front of. It turned it into ex novo, which means new beginning. So it's a brewing company right next to another building, Sammy's Cafe and Deli. Up on the monitor now shows a photograph from the 40s, the Chemo Theater over to the left. And when it was built in 1927, it was the most popular theater in all of the Southwest here. Over to the right now is Albuquerque's first park.
Beautiful park.
They have a growers market down here on Friday mornings. You can buy all kinds of stuff with money you don't have, money stuff you don't need. Like my wife. There's another picture of Chemo. Chemo means king of its kind. And inside they have photographs of all sorts of Native American work, Native pottery, blankets. It really is a good representation of indigenous art. So during the heyday, like I had mentioned, over 100 motels got up and down the way. This motel just changed its name. It used to be Sandia Apartment Motel. Now they've changed the name. It looks pretty much the same. I think they should have kept it as the Sandia because their neon sign had a mountain that looked like the Sandias. Now there's a famous movie coming out that's a cartoon, and it's a blend of cartoon and movie. It's about the coyote, and it's an Acme company where he used to buy all this stuff. Over here to the right, that motel across the street there, that was in the movie. I don't know the name of the movie, but they did have the whole thing put together. They never distributed it. It's supposed to be out this year. It's about the Acme company that features the coyote, and it's a blend of realism and cartoon. All done in that hotel there. Doghouse. Doghouse is really popular. A lot of times when you're lined up on the street. Now, coming up on the left down the way, there's some great apartments. That is the Union Castle Apartments. It's also a bronze heating theater. Now, if you go to Albuquerque, you'll quite well understand. Generally, you had a neighborhood named after you. For example, I live in the Gray Amos neighborhood. Over to the left is the Union Castle neighborhood. It's also a site where they do a lot of filming for movies and shows like Breaking Bad. And they have a country club, or as I like to say when I was in high school, where the rich people live. Here's pictures of Firestone. It was a dealership with great brewery. Kind of forgot about that deal. There's a roadrunner right in the middle of the street. There he is. Yeah, now we see roadrunners on about 40% of our tours, and they pretty much run everywhere. When my family moved here in 1960, we thought roadrunners were pretty stupid. I mean, running everywhere. That's probably how I'm able to maintain my trim figure. I kind of feel like if a roadrunner doesn't have a lizard in his mouth, he's not a real roadrunner. Over to the left is a little tourist center. Now, Albuquerque has about 15 museums, including the Rattlesnake Museum in Old Town. And we have an Albuquerque Museum featuring all things Albuquerque. Museum of Natural History and Science, which has just been refurbished for 7 months. A children's museum. We have the only atomic museum in the entire country. Now, if you look here, this is our new sign over here to the right. Brand new. It's got all kinds of lights on it. It's got some neon. Now again, if you had a business, you were on Route 66, the more neon you could attach to your business, the more business you have. Because a lot of times, you could see neon for 5, 6, as far as 10 miles away. And some of the neon on some of the buildings was just absolutely ugly, but it caused people to come there. So a lot of the businesses up and down Route 66 were successful based on their neon sign. Now neon is a mixture of gas and electricity. Of course, neon is actually red and orange, but you'll see other colors of neon. That's because they use other gases excited by electricity. So if you have a true neon sign, it is red and orange. All the other colors were experiments that they did once they found that neon actually worked. And it started in France. It was brought to the United States and once it became popular here. So, Old Town back on the way. We're ready to finish up our experience here. Now, we are on social media. And because we're on social media, the guides kind of get perks if you do a review and mention the guide's name. What's my name? Blake.
Like
What's
Blake
Shauna's
Slaughterburger?
name? Shauna. So,
Blake.
we would
Blake
appreciate it if
Slaughterburger.
you- And so as we head back into Old Town, a lot of the buildings in Old Town, essentially 1800s. If you eat at the Church Street Cafe, you're eating at the oldest house in Albuquerque. The Ruiz family has the Church Street Cafe, and there's been a house there since the 1600s.
We should eat
Here's
there.
our founder sitting on his horsey. Listen close, you can repeat his name. It's Don Francisco Cuervo y Valdez. There you go. Don Francisco Cuervo y Valdez. Most everybody gets the Cuervo part right. And there used to be a fountain behind it. And one year some high school kids put 3 gallons of bubble bath in that fountain. Now most of you are old enough to remember the Forest Hog Show with the bubbles. This whole part of Old Town looked like the start of the Forest Hog Show. There were thousands of bubbles everywhere. It was absolutely hilarious. Now over to the left, that bell tower, that was Albuquerque's first school run by the nuns. It's right up against the San Felipe de Neri Church. If you have a chance, go into church. Built in 1793. It's one of the oldest and prettiest churches in the United States. Public restrooms are back over behind the fountain there. Now, Sean and I want to give you an opportunity to vote on your chili. You know, there's 2 types of chili, red and green. And Albuquerque actually has a registered question. You know what the question is? Red or green. That's what your server will ask you, so what kind of chili you want. Now, for the most part, the chili's all the same chili. The green is fresh and chopped up, and the red is dried and powdered. What do you say if you want both? Christmas. So, lots of chili here. Also, they have events going on all weekend. Now, Sean and I want to give you an opportunity to vote on your favorite chili. Here's how you vote. Should you feel like we are worthy of a gratuity, we have a voting booth right here. So you are welcome to vote by leaving a gratuity in either red or green. You can vote Christmas. You can vote as many times as you'd like. You don't have to vote at all. So, did you guys have a good time?
Put one in for me. Yeah.
So your brain should be full. Yes, ma'am.
Where's the Elvado Motel?
The Albuquerque Motel is go out to Central, make a left, go about a mile.
Is it west or?
You'll hit west.
It's west, okay.
So we'd like to thank you very much for joining us on our little experience today. Hopefully you learned a few things about famous Route 66 through town. And I would suggest that everybody go to the Visit Albuquerque website. Visit Albuquerque and use that QR code that we have listed up there. Let's give Sean a big round of applause. He made it through alive.
want to see the
Now, if you go
motel.
to the Albuquerque Museum, there's another QR code that I have listed up on the, it's on a big piece of pottery, so you can capture the QR code and it'll tell you some more information, but I believe it's also on Visit Albuquerque. So wait till the trolley stops. You guys were a great group, a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll enjoy your picture of the throne. Da-da-da-da. Thanks again, guys.
And that concludes the Old Town Trolley Tour Route 66 Remix from Saturday, August 8th. Hope you enjoyed it. And I shall see you in the next video. It was challenging, but a lot of fun to film, and it was very informative. And so, yeah, just hope you enjoyed it. There'll be more to come in the rest of the summer. Maybe not as exciting as that. Well, I hope so, though. I hope we'll do something exciting. And we may be traveling in October, a couple months from now. So take care. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you in the next video.